All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the channel. So, I'm at my new place. This is my first time, attempting to live stream. So, I'm pretty excited. This is a suggested pick a card reading on, I can just pick up my notebook. Advice on making a big career decision. So, this was suggested to me by one of my lovely subscribers. So, I hope this resonates with you. And I obviously hope this resonates with all of you listening. So, my situation is not completely set up here, but I definitely like this more than where I was previously at. So, I'm very excited about these changes going on. We've actually got some crystals, so if any of you would like to choose a reading based off of that, and eventually I'll get the camera better set up. But for now, let's see. You can't even really see all that well because it's really, really bright. But reading number 1, we've got this. I honestly don't remember what this is, but yeah, I'm sorry about the lighting. But here we've got, does he? Let me try moving the camera to see if you can see it. So, yeah. Okay, so here we've got reading number 1. Then we've got reading number 2. And over here, I know this one is Lapis Lazuli, is reading number 3. So, yeah. Okay. Once you've decided on your reading, and I will get better lighting in some upcoming videos. My phone is currently charging, so if any of you watched my recent weekly energy reading where I had a different setup, where I got these like really pretty blue curtains with the like white squiggly lines. At that time I was recording on my phone. The quality is pretty good on my phone. However, I'm out of storage space and my phone is currently charging. So yeah, I went ahead and just covering the top part because it's just random info. I'm not even sure if the text comes up properly or if it's all like backwards, but basically I wrote a spread for this reading. It's pretty much like kind of my own spin on a Celtic cross spread. Sorry, my cat is just really cute. But anyways, once you've chosen your reading or multiple readings, if you feel guided to listen to multiple, or if one doesn't resonate, maybe check out another one. That one might resonate. Sometimes I'll pick like reading number 3 and I'm like, I don't know. And then I'll like pick reading number 1 or reading number 2 or whatever. And I'm like, okay, actually. So sometimes, the one you pick doesn't always resonate. But oftentimes when you feel really guided to listen to a certain one, or you feel really drawn to like a crystal, which might be difficult since the lighting is so bright, oftentimes it ends up being the reading, So go ahead and go to the timestamps that are hopefully listed in the description box below, and I will see you all over there. Yeah. All right. For those of you who chose reading number 1, we are just going to get started now. Yeah. So, the spread we've got, we're going to be looking into the current energy of your situation, and then we're going to also be looking at maybe an obstacle or the decision that you're having a tough time making, since this is about making some sort of decision, big decision in your career. And card number 3 is going to be past influences on why you're approaching your situation the way that you are. And then we'll get into the other cards as well and what they all represent as we go. So let's just kind of like start there. And yeah, I was going to lay this all out on the chair, but Usnavi's on the chair now. So that's not going to be happening at this moment. I'm just going to change the times. No, it's okay. You guys can wait. It's fine. So cute. All right, so card number 1. What is the current energy of your situation? We get the Knight of Swords. Currently, things are moving really fast for you, or you're being very direct with the path that you are on. So currently, you're on a very straightforward path. I feel like there's not like a crossroads at this point. If there was, you've already made your decision. So if you were recently trying to come up with some career decisions, to me, reading 1, I'm kind of getting that you've already made your major career decision, and you might be just listening in on this reading to kind of like see how it's going. Like some of you are nervous about having made a decision that was so big already. That's what I'm getting. We can clarify as we go, but also we'll see how long this reading goes for. Those of you who've been on the channel for a while know that I get very thorough. But let's see. The obstacle, or what's making it difficult for you to make this decision, or what's causing stress or some sort of obstacle on your current path. We've got the 9 of Wands, which is simply that maybe some of you, what resonates here is just literally not having the energy to keep up with this path that you've already chosen, or you are worried that you're not going to have enough energy, that every time you keep trying and trying, that you're getting worn down bit by bit. That's some of your guys' concerns out there, or the obstacle for those of you who chose reading number 1. So I feel like reading 1, you already made a major decision, or you're not really stuck on whether or not to do it, but more so just worried about having the energy, or worried that it's going to fail somehow with the 9 of Wands there. Some of you, it's about having the courage or energy or encouragement to keep it up or keep going. Some of you know very strongly the path for you, the way forward, or what you want to go for, but your obstacle or your challenge with making this decision is that, like, you've been trying for so long that you're getting tired or unsure, something like that. The 9 of Wands card is sort of like a card of trying again. So some of your guys' challenge here is having the courage to try again. So some of you already made this decision in the past. Maybe you tried putting out a product or something, and maybe it didn't necessarily go poorly, but like experiences or life has got you down periodically throughout time. And so maybe some of you know that this path is for you, but you're just kind of like, you're having a tough time having the energy to do it, mostly because spiritually or just energetically in some way or another, physically, you may be feeling worn down. So that's what I'm getting. And yeah, hopefully this is resonating. More tired than usual. And to me, this is because we just had Jupiter and Neptune conjunct. We had that really major new moon in Aries at the start of, I think at the start of April or the end of March, something like that. It was very major energy. So a lot of major shifts have been happening. And so when you go through such a big transformation or awakening, it takes a lot out of you. Yeah. So card number 3. So past influences on why you're feeling the way you're feeling or approaching this situation the way that you are. The devil's energy. Past situations or past influences is maybe like negative self-esteem, or some sort of like negative influences from the past that like a toxic connections or people or places that like um or a negative energy that is like the world that like tries to tell you that you're not good enough or you can't do it or whatever. Past influences on why you're approaching the situation the way you are kind of makes perfect sense to me. I'm getting like some of you are actually really uh, attached, like your past influences is that this path that you've chosen, like it's not just yourself. I feel like some of you are very independent in the sense that if it was just you and you had no one else to like, for example, take care of or have to focus on, um, or if life circumstances stopped, like, unpredictable things, or like, it's like each day is a new episode, type of a thing. If there weren't so many other people or whatever involved, if it was just you, you feel like you'd have plenty of energy or enough energy uh, to do your thing and to stay in the flow. So I feel like some of your guys' challenge is like keeping up with this momentum because maybe there are other energies out there that interfere. And in the past, you've had this happen where you've got a good idea or a good thing going, and then someone or something gets in the way and messes with your flow. And like the success that you saw for yourself doesn't play out the way that you hoped or expected. And then it wears you down because it wasn't quite as rewarding as you hoped and deserved for it to be. So some of you might really resonate with that for the past influences on why you're approaching your situation the way that you are. Um, and if anything, this is saying like, yeah, you've had past experiences that were either just too attached to a person, a situation. It's like an entire picture. It's not just one thing, In this, to me, what I'm seeing is like two people who are basically equal. Neither is necessarily to blame, but both are chained by this oppressive energy where they're chained seemingly together to each other, so that sometimes if you're not paying attention to your surroundings, you might blame each other when really you're both perfectly fine. It's actually a bigger energy, an entity, some symbolic meaning or person. Doesn't have to be just metaphoric, it can be a literal person. Like, for example, maybe you have issues with your coworker, but actually it's your manager pitting you against one another. So it's like neither you or your coworker are actually bad per se, and not necessarily that your manager in this example is either, but just that like and it can even be you and your manager, and then it's like the whole concept of capitalism is this thing. It's like it's this kind of energy of like you're able to look back at your past, and for a lot of you, you're not necessarily blaming certain individuals that were a part of it, but that sadly all of everyone involved, there's like maybe trauma or negative experience. So maybe people that you had good experience with on a personal level, because of the circumstances, it's been like tainted or warped in some sort of way. So some of you, it's like you want to open back yourself back up to work together with others or with this specific person when it comes to your big career decision. But due to where you first started, where you've had past experiences when you tried working together with someone that you thought it was a good thing, but because of the circumstances, it became toxic or some sort of dependency on the situation while also wanting to get away from that situation at the same time. There's something like that. So some of you feel really chained to a circumstance from your past that's affecting you in the present. And I'm getting that that has a big role in why you might feel tired or like unsure about trying it at this time. So some of you are really needing encouragement to keep going forward right now. So card number 4 is past wisdom that's helping you decide, since this is a reading about making a major decision in your career life. 4 of Swords, some past wisdom that's helping you decide is um, being able to look at the past calmly, being able to meditate and like keep your heart rate okay and to feel safe. So I feel like past wisdom for you is if you are in a better place now where you can look back at your past now that you're outside of it, now that you're past it and not in that space anymore, you're able to look back and you can reflect on it calmly and sort of see the situation for what it is. I feel like this is saying that like you need to kind of dis differentiate what was toxic in it and what wasn't. Sometimes this also represents two sides of you, and then this is like another form of you oppressing yourself. Um, in other words, it's like nothing here is necessarily bad. It's something that you need to heal and find acceptance with so that you can transmute this energy to the next card, the Tower card, to making a change and seeing the situation for what it really was. So you've got past wisdom here genuinely helping you out, reading number 1, the 4 of Swords. So I feel like there are certain things about your past that are not as bad now that you've made it through it, like the people you met along the way or the support that you've gotten along the way. There was love guiding you through these experiences. Try to connect with that. So some of you might be like not wanting to try again with moving forward with your business partner, for example. And for some of you out there, if you see this as like also a love reading, I absolutely see it, which is why I'm using different examples so that I don't like um like uh only channel that type of a reading when this is supposed to be a career reading. But some of you might really kind of get what person this is about. If it's about a person, again, just take this if it's resonating and take it however it fits for your situation. But yeah, I'm just getting like there is valuable wisdom from your past that now lets you think about like how to pace yourself and how to embrace this obstacle, this energy where you're feeling tired and drained. Try to view it from a place of like reminding yourself that you're not gonna quit all of a sudden, or that you're not like just gonna lose all that energy, but that you're actually gonna be okay with doing nothing right now. You're gonna be okay with resting right now. Some of you is like you're moving fast all the time, or a lot of the time. So then once it doesn't, it really gets you down and you get into this fight or flight mode, worrying that now that you're not moving fast, that suddenly you're not going to move at all because of maybe negative voices from your past. For me, I'm always kind of on top of things, to be honest, but I also like to just rest when I want to. And I've had people when I was a little kid and growing up, and even months ago, and even, like things like that, even last month, even last year, like just like throughout my life, I've had people where, like, when I'm just doing my own thing and I see it all like as myself as quite successful, I've had people pretty much yell at me and kind of be like, "You're not doing anything. Why are you so lazy?" And like get labeled all these things. And I think that plays a role in why when I'm not doing something, I think I'm in trouble. I think I'm doing something bad by resting, by doing nothing. That now I'm lazy. You see kind of where I'm getting at with what this card can represent. So yeah, it's like some of you would have had a really good balance between doing things and resting and listening to your body when it's time if you didn't have all these toxic world experiences. This is a world that constantly likes to make people feel bad about doing healthy things and like just listening to your body and listening to yourself over management, for example. We live in a really weird world, to say the least. So it's like, yeah, I feel like a lot of you know what this is all about. So we're going to move forward to card number 5. Um, your ideal slash hope slash goal about your situation overall. So we've got the Page of Wands. I feel like you're very open-minded about this. Ideally, you want excitement and fun. You want to feel like you're always on the move, that you're always on the go, that things are moving forward in a positive direction for you. I feel like with this really open-minded energy and spirit of yours, that you're going to attract a really positive outcome here. Because, yeah, I feel like you don't have a specific goal for your future here. You just know what you like versus what you don't like. You like pleasure, you like fun and excitement, you like getting to rest without feeling bad about it. You just like feeling free and happy and joyful and peace, and abundant. But not necessarily because of all the worldly possessions you have, but because of like uh, your body just feels really good existing, and you want to feel really good in your own energy, and that's your goal, and that's a really beautiful goal. So I feel like your energy is actually quite pure, reading number 1. So yeah, let's see. Card number 6 is most likely thing to happen, your future energy for where you're going. um yeah, in regards to your goal in your situation. We've got the Two of Swords. You actually, funny enough, some of you've been moving really fast and you're worried about slowing down, but this balance between those two is really good because actually where you are approaching is a sort of crossroads. So in the near future, you will be approaching a crossroads where you will have to shift into a new path or something. Like you will have to make a major decision in the future. So, and it's going to be an energy where you've really got to think about it. So I'm just going to clarify this card. This is the one I want to clarify. We get the Emperor. It's going to be a crossroads that Spirit lays out intentionally to help you move forward. So your advice for this crossroads is the Five of Cups, clarified by the Two of Wands. Wow. Using your experience of what you know about loss and love, universal love, unconditional love, the message of when you go through a loss, remembering what still remains. Your advice is on using that knowledge. Suddenly, your past knowledge of loss or pain is now a benefit for you because maybe this decision has to do with needing empathy or understanding what another has gone through. Maybe someone is asking for help or an opportunity for you that normally you would have turned down at a previous point in your life. But now, after experiencing what you did, you have more understanding and empathy towards this person or circumstance that's going to allow you to make a decision to be more loving. Pretty much. Yeah. It's like you can really understand what someone's going through, so you're deciding to help them or deciding to do the right thing pretty much. So some of you have a future crossroads coming where um it's sort of between making a decision, almost black and white, like right versus wrong. I mean, obviously that's subjective, but I just feel like you'll know what this is about, where you have all the power of what happens next, where it's those feelings where we feel like we never got the choice. And then finally we get the choice. Now we are the ones who have the choice of what happens next. And suddenly the roles are reversed and we're the ones in the position of power and we get to decide if we're going to do what other people who are in power didn't do. It's like maybe someone, when they had that power, were really cruel, and now the roles have reversed, and it's up to us to make a decision on if we're going to do the same thing, or if we're going to show that we're not them, you know? There's some sort of vibe like that where like um or maybe this person has not done anything wrong to you, this new opportunity or situation. For a lot of you, I feel like it's not a new person. I feel like this is someone that you know, or a past job offer, for example, that maybe turned you down before, but now they really want you or need you, you know, or a business partner that really let you down before, but you know now why and how everything happened, and you're like willing to give it a shot. Or some of you just know from experience that you're like, I do have love for this, for love and empathy for you, but I need to do what's best for me and my journey. It's really going to it's really going to depend on your circumstances, on what feels right to you first and foremost, and just kind of like really seeing your situation from a peaceful place, looking at your past from a calm and collected place. So I would say that if you do get into a point of suddenly someone reaching out or you need to make a decision, to not make a hasty one, unless if it's one that you have a lot of confidence that it's from a place of peace and like calmness, you know? If you just know right away what you're going to do calmly, then like by all means, make that decision. But if it's like something happens and you like are really upset and you don't feel peaceful, like triggered, and you want to just make a decision, the advice for your future energy is that you're probably going to like um you're probably still going to make some sort of choice to move forward. I don't know. I just feel like the advice, it really is splitting a lot of ways, but that's kind of like the gist of it. So I hope that made sense. Then we're gonna look at some other possibilities. So this is like the most likely path that you're on. Reading number one, we've got cards 7 and 8, which are other possible timelines, other possible outcomes here that are positive. Card number 7 is a positive outcome that you do see coming, that you're like, yeah, I could see that happening. Card number 8 is going to be like a timeline that you is positive, but you don't see coming. And this is just for us to like um, just see other angles and perspectives. So the Tower card. So a possible timeline shift that is positive for you that you see coming is literally the unexpected. Like expect the unexpected, right? I feel like reading number one, you're so used to so many things intervening that you've also seen that when things intervene in life, sometimes it's for the best. It actually puts you on a good path, even if it doesn't always feel like it in the moment. So some of you feel like there's also going to be unexpected change that's going to just sort of um, get thrown in the loop here. And I feel like that's actually kind of lining up with that Two of Swords card. So to me, this is saying like the most likely future energy is you're going to reach a crossroads of needing to make right from wrong. And then the next most likely thing, if you don't know what to do, is that the universe will cause real changes outside of your control that will help you know what to do, pretty much. And then card number 8 is a positive timeline possibility that you don't see coming. The Hermit card. Um, which is like, yeah, to me, this is saying like something that's possible is something that would normally trigger you, but instead you actually feel really calm and peaceful anyways, and you get really reflective. Some of you, what you don't see coming as a possibility is being told, like becoming this whole person where you're totally chill about just like resting, or just about like meditating, or like not having to move fast. Some of you, it's hard to envision that, but it's like a possibility there is that you're just going to be like totally content with your own energy, with just like being grounded and centered. And like um another thing I'm getting that you might not see coming is that like through that self work and finding something within what you don't see coming is that the same instance you do that a huge positive outcome happens in terms of your career life and your life overall. How many of you has that happened to you? You know, it's happened to me where like I find myself or something important and I'm like, wow. And then like ding dong, the doorbell rings and it's like suddenly exactly what I had been looking for out in the world that I finally decided, you know what? I now get it. And I now believe I am worth what I desire, that I am worthy of receiving love. And now I'm fine with just being where I'm at. Like, who knows when it'll happen, but I trust it'll happen. It's like when it clicks, suddenly it happens, you know? So something like that. And then here we've got like some shadow aspects, like fears, realistic possibilities of like quote unquote what could go wrong. This is something that could like go wrong that you do see coming, which is the Five of Pentacles, which I feel like some of you really want to reconcile with somebody and that's playing a really big role in your career life. That so something that you view as negative that you would see coming is not reconciling with someone that you want to reconcile with. Some of you really want to go for this job and not getting the job, for example, you know, is like a possibility that you do see coming. Or this person, if the crossroads is um, that you ask to reconcile and they turn you down, or they ask you to reconcile and you turn them down, and then later you regret it because you just said that out of a place of hurt from Five of Cups, but really you did want to move forward with that person actually because you know it's not their fault, it's the situation itself that was designed to make you think it was their fault, you know? So that's a possibility of what you would see coming, reading number one. You're like, yeah, I could see either one of us getting triggered and turning each other down, even though we don't actually want that. Or, yeah, I could see that coming, that the place I apply to doesn't hire me because someone else is quote unquote more qualified, or maybe is whatever. It really depends on your circumstances. And then the last card is like a negative possibility that you don't see coming. The Three of Cups. That like, I don't really understand this one. I feel like this is saying that there's not a negative possibility that you don't see coming here. I feel like things are just going to be good for you no matter what here. So that's cool. And we're going to clarify it. We got the Six of Wands, success and victory. Yeah, I'm just getting like there really is not much room for failure in my world. I don't really believe in failure anyways. But yeah, and I don't think the universe does either. There are no such thing as mistakes. Just lessons to learn, right? So Three of Cups and Six of Wands, just like what you don't see coming in that area of like where you're the most afraid, basically, is that you'll still just receive kindness, love, and success and appreciation. And it might hurt. You might be a little hurt where you're like, why are you suddenly open up to me now? Why is the world suddenly rewarding me for doing what I've always done when it was not rewarding me before, you know? So in terms of like a negative energy, it could be that like you're just kind of hurt, that it's obviously it can feel good that good things are finally coming in, but you might be a little salty, basically. Like, wow, like about time, you know? So I don't think anything bad is really happening for you when it comes to your career life, reading number one. So that's what I've got for you. And then, yeah, your advice is just that you do have a crossroads approaching, maybe a deadline, and looking at it from a place of calmness, maturity, love, and empathy, of understanding what it feels like to lose in life, or to lose, yeah, just knowing what it feels like to go through loss of any sorts. Like, it's like I really am getting the message to encourage you, reading number one, to like be the good person that you are. And I feel like that's going to help you make this major decision. So I hope that resonates with you. Yeah. So I'm wishing you all the best and sending lots of love. And I will talk to you all later. Take care. Okay, let's see. Whoa. That's funny. Okay. All right, reading number 2. So we're going to just look right into it. So I've got this spread, and the first card is going to be the current energy on your situation. And the second card is going to be what's the decision that you're having a tough time making, or what is the obstacle or the challenge from your current path. And I'll explain what cards 3 through 10 are as we get there. But yeah. So yeah. I know the lighting's not the best, but if you just wanted to make sure that this is your reading, but I did not realize the light was going to be so, I don't know. So let's look into it. So your current energy on your situation, what is your path? 7 of Pentacles, reading 2. You're in a very like waiting to see your plants grow phase. Like you've already been on this path for some time and you've planted a lot of seeds and they've officially sprouted off from the ground, but they have yet to like fully grow. And you might be tempted to take them. It's like if any of you have ever planted strawberries and you get some little small strawberries, you're like, ooh, and you suddenly just start harvesting. It's like, but if you don't harvest them and you like top them or whatever, and then you wait till summer, you'll get huge strawberries and like way more strawberries. So this is like saying like some of you are wanting to take your earnings a bit too early right now, and that's the path you're on. You're not necessarily fast either. You're not like taking all of your earnings, but you're like thinking, like maybe I'll just take one. Like maybe this is as far as my manifestation goes, and this is good enough. But Spirit is kind of telling you like these are gonna grow into something much more. So maybe like budget, like top these plants, like take some, but like don't remove the whole thing and call it good. Let some of it continue to grow. So this could be talking about that some of you are really budgeting your finances, or needing to take some resources out to sustain yourself while not taking too much out, so that you've still got resources grounded planted in the dirt and planted in the ground. Um, some of you, this can be literally about gardening, that exact analogy that I use with the strawberries and topping the plants or whatever. Um, and some of you, this is about your own physical energy of knowing when to expend your energy, but not so much that it just like drains you completely. So finding a way where you can maintain your energy. So this is the path you're on. It is a path of needing to be patient and just giving things time. And I feel like most of you are basically giving things time. And that if you were to focus elsewhere, you would notice that there is an opportunity right above your head, right above you, that it may take some effort to climb and like go reach it. But there is some opportunity outside of just taking from your own resources. You can kind of take from somewhere else, so to speak, an offer from spirit that is going to give you what you're trying to take from your own garden. So rather than remove this plant from your garden prematurely, perhaps just go somewhere where it's already totally perfect and ready for you for the taking. and take that instead. So I feel like some of you are really giving this situation time. And Spirit is saying, like, yeah, give it time. Don't just uproot it and give up on this project or your path, but also kind of seek elsewhere at the same time. So it's kind of like, don't overwater your plants. Just let them be, but also look for new opportunities. I hope that makes sense. So the challenge here for you is the Hanged Man. The obstacle here about making a major decision right now is feeling like there's not much choice to make. You might feel like you're just hanging here, that you're in a time of pause, or that you just sometimes just like you don't know what to do, or you just feel like not making a decision or doing anything because you're just like you get overwhelmed by all the different possibilities or all the list of things that you need to do. Like some of you really feel like even with where your plants are at right now, which doesn't even feel like they fully blossomed, you're already having a tough time managing it, you know? So that's your obstacle. Something about time management and feeling like not doing anything a lot of the times and worrying about whether or not that's good or bad. If you're actually being restored energy or if you just keep resting and your energy is just crashing more and more. Some of you, it's a toss up. You're not sure what's going on here. But the Hanged Man is a very reflective energy. You're meant to learn something in this energy. It's meant to help you see new perspectives, even though we might have a tough time believing that because we're so caught up by this weird moment of pause in our life that can feel like forever. But there is a valuable lesson in there to find. And sometimes, however much time it takes, it just took that much time, you know? If a computer needs 3 hours to download the thing, that's how long it needed to download the information or whatever, you know? So it's like however much time this is going to take you is how much time it's going to take. So I feel like your obstacle is seeing this from a positive perspective, seeing this slower moving energy as a good thing. I think this is really good for you because we're approaching Taurus season in a couple weeks, which is about being really good with slow moving energy, stable energy, consistent energy. Taurus is really good at making small steps towards abundance and towards their growth. They're really good at like being consistent and being okay with things moving slowly because they're really good at maintaining that energy and watching the success happen quite effortlessly in a lot of ways. So yeah. So card number 3 is past influences on why you're approaching the situation that the way that you are. We get the Justice card, which is maybe in the past you've done the right thing and yet you still got the short end of the stick or whatever. You did what you thought was right and yet you did not experience something good out of it. Or you did what you thought was right, but then you didn't get to see everything move forward. It's like you had an opportunity for things to move forward quickly, but you felt like it would be wrong for whatever reason. So, for example, maybe there was like a job offer that would have offered a lot of money, but it felt wrong because it wasn't a job that you believed in, or like the values there were like some really corrupt values. This is just an example, but it's like you didn't believe in the work you were doing or were going to do. And so you turned it down because it was the right thing to do. However, because of that, then you stayed wherever you were with your career or financially in the same situation or predicament. And then it's like some of you are questioning, does it like, should you keep doing the right thing or keep listening to your morals there? Because like, it just seems like if we just do that, then we're not gonna end up top when it comes to life. But this is honestly past energy that's like not helping, basically. That's the way I see card number 3. So I'm getting like, continue to do what is right, continue listening to your moral compass, regardless of what the past has shown you, regardless of times where you did the right thing and yet the wrong outcome happened. This is a corrupt world that tries to do that, to convince us all that, to drag us down to that level, to, you know what they say, like, don't stoop to someone's level. Like, they're just trying to bring you down to their level. They want you to be as immature as they are, etc. So it's like, of course, the world, when you did the right thing, when facing injustice, of course, the world tried to find a way to make you feel like that was the wrong choice, or to make you feel bad, because, they want you to stoop to their level so that this broken, corrupt world, quote unquote, works or continues to function the way it does. So actually, you're revolutionary by making these choices, by choosing to do the right thing, regardless of if it, like, brought you something good or not. I feel like generally with the Hanged Man, it depends on how you look at it, that some people might judge you and say that things went bad for you, or they're judging like your decisions, but others, yourself for example, or your loved ones who actually support you for example, might see you as the total success that you are, and be really proud of the choices you made, and just already see how many blessings you've manifested by simply doing what's right. So it just depends on how you view it. I'm getting like, some of you, depending on how you look at it, feel like you've done the right thing in the past, but then the wrong outcome happens. But if you look at it from another angle, another perspective, you might see how you actually do kind of end up on top every single time. That karma is a thing. Some of you are kind of needing a little bit of like encouragement or faith in the universe restored, that like doing the right thing does matter, that like karma does pay off, you know? Something like that. So card number 4 is past wisdom that is helpful. So this is past influences that is making it tough for you to make this major decision. And card number 4 is past wisdom that's helping you decide, helping you with your situation. The 4 of Cups. Knowing when you don't feel up for it. Knowing when you're like, that doesn't sound fun. That doesn't sound like enough to make me feel better. So some of you, if you're feeling down at times, or like not like doing much, or you're just like tired, or just like not feeling up for taking a certain offer, like that's actually helping you, because if it was something that you actually felt really good about doing, you would do it. And if it's something that you do want, but for some reason you're just like still like upset or feeling this way, this is Spirit's way of saying like that's because you actually need to be by yourself right now, if that's what you want, so that you can feel these emotions. And it's like you're really thinking about the past. You're really piecing things together. You're differentiating. You're getting more clear on what actually happened in your life and in the past. So some of you maybe saw a past situation through a foggy lens, and now that you're able to kind of be by yourself and brood a little bit, or like feel your emotions more in your own space, um, you're like seeing the love that really was there. You're seeing how, where you were hurt, but you're seeing that that doesn't mean that the love wasn't real, or that the support wasn't there. You're seeing how there was maybe always some sort of loving energy behind the scenes, um, within you and around you, because you're magical, you're amazing. And I don't know, I'm just getting like the past wisdom right now that's helping you decide is seeing the love that was and is there. And that's going to help you make these decisions at this time. I'm getting like you're a very loving person, and you're a very peaceful kind of a person in general. With the Hanged Man, I'm getting like sometimes though, like piranhas that show up and try to like again change your energy. It's like you can get pushed to a point where you don't feel like you're yourself, where you feel like you're not the peaceful zen person that you are, or that you're not as calm and collected or put together as usual, because of the piranhas that are like kind of coming at you. So it's like you're kind of just like seeing the situation clearly, and you're in a recovery mode. So some of you, for reading number 2, the main thing is that you are worried that you don't really know what that really big idea is that's going to drastically change your situation, where you're just like way past it. Um, but I feel like with that like sparkly fruit right above you on this tree, is that there is something that's like going to be a major boost that, yeah, will help you in the present moment. It may not be everything. It is just one orange or one fruit or one apple or whatever, one really good idea or whatever. But I'm getting it's like some of you are worried about taking out some of your own resources, and I'm kind of getting it's a good thing because you can take something out to place something more valuable in, placing passion into your work, love into your work, um, excitement, joy, and planting that seed and watching how that's going to make a really big difference in helping all of your other plants grow. So I'm kind of getting it's like pretty soon you're going to make some sort of big decision, which is to like spend some of what you have, and it's going to make space for taking care of you, as well as being able to plant new ideas into the ground. So some of you have been really holding on to your finances. So an example is that like you're gonna like spend a little bit more than you usually do now, or like finally you're spending some of what you've saved up. Not all of it. The Seven of Pentacles and you taking out one pentacle, I would say you're taking out maybe a seventh of what you've had saved up, you know, some sort of fraction of it, not all of it. Yeah. Card number 5 is your ideal or hope slash goal about your situation overall. Ideally, the sun, positive. You want everything. You want it to be like in all aspects of your life to be positive, colorful. Like you want everything to make sense, to really connect. This Hanged Man energy, you want all of what's happened from the past to make sense again and to connect to proving to you that the path you chose and all those hardships and moments of pause was to bring you to this moment in the future where it shows you that all of those were not by mistake, that you were right where you needed to be all along, you know? Like waiting for that proof that this path wasn't for nothing, or that the painful things that happened or those difficult times of pause that you had to go through, that it all was a good thing because it all led you up to some really positive moment that connected it all together, where you're like, yes, it was all worth it. So some of you, it's something like that. But generally, your goal is that you want it to be very, very positive, your future, of course. But I just love that it's the sun card. That makes sense. Card number 6 is the most likely outcome, the future energy for where you are going in regards to your situation or goal. The Ten of Pentacles, this is saying bit by bit, that is exactly what's happening. The Sun card is basically what is to come. Like all of it making sense and you feeling like it was all actually to bring you together with everything you wanted in your life, all of your happiness and success financially, with the right connections, with the right loved ones or the right family, the whole bigger picture, all of it coming together. That is the upcoming future energy. So I'm getting like this really major feeling or hope that you're looking for that shows you that everything is actually going really well is coming sooner than you think, perhaps, depending on your outlook. So cards 7 and 8. Card number 7 is a positive um, possibility or other outcome that might be also happening. These are basically energies outside of your control that are going to be kind of happening from angles that are on your mind, positive angles and negative angles, things that you're worried about, things that you're feeling good about. What external sources are going to come from all of that? I hope that makes sense. So, that part of you where you're feeling optimistic or hopeful for something good, what is something good coming in, or a possibility of something good coming in that you do see coming? The High Priestess. Something you see coming is that your intuition was guiding you all along, that you knew all the right decisions to make, that you are very wise, and that intuitively you knew the right path to follow that was actually going to bring you everything you wanted. And some of you, or those of you listening, this is what you see coming, where you're like, yeah, I am pretty wise, aren't I? I do know what to do, don't I? Of course this went well. Like, I was listening to my intuition. Oh yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about that, about trusting yourself and your own inner guidance. Card number 8 is a possible positive outcome or thing happening that you don't see coming. Something good that you don't see coming. The King of Wands. Um, this could be an offer or someone showing up who's already very successful or with a lot of positive energy, doing the right thing, choosing to offer their idea or whatever to you, giving an idea, or someone giving an offer or becoming a part of your team or your life that is going to be a very powerful ally. The King of Wands. They have so many good ideas that you actually like and agree with, and that it actually motivates and encourages and inspires you to do. This also, something you don't see coming could be that, that this energy comes in really fast, very confident, and it's very stable, and that they don't back down. They actually are here to stay and to support you at this time, and to really bring you a lot of good ideas and success. So some of you, what you don't see coming is someone coming in that actually provides a lot, of what something that someone or some opportunity or new job, for example, that like brings in some, like that missing piece to the puzzle, where you're like, there's something missing for why these aren't growing. It's almost like you yourself aren't even going to have to climb. It's like gravity is going to make that drop all on its own. That you were good no matter what you did. Whether it's good that you're doing your own thing, but generally, I'm kind of getting like you're manifesting this positive career change effortlessly. So, what you don't see coming is that you don't even really need to worry about making a big career change decision. Reading number 2. A lot of you just reading number 2, you don't really feel like there's a major decision to make here. Or if you do, this is saying like regardless of what decision you make, something amazing and spectacular is going to happen for you anyways. So that you've kind of got nothing to worry about, which is ironic because we're going to flip card number 9, which is like a possible fear, something that you feel negative about that could happen that you do see coming. The Page of Pentacles, which is that you're going to have to do this all by yourself type of a thing, that like you're going to have to somehow take not just 1/7 of your coin, but all of your coin to sustain something right now, to get a project moving forward or to move forward at this time. Some of you, what you're worried about that could happen is that you're going to have to take way more of your finances out than you are ready to do. But I'm just also getting with the Page of Pentacles that it's like that's going to pay off anyways. So it's actually rather good if that were to happen. If you end up getting pushed to having to do that, that'll just still work in your favor. Something that you feel negatively about that is a possibility that you don't see coming is the Wheel of Fortune, which is that what you don't see coming is the times that you feel like it's a loss, like having to use all your coin to do something, actually is your favor. Wheel of Fortune is saying whether what you're experiencing feels good or bad, there's actually something of fortune to gain from it each and every time. And it's a matter of if you're seeing the fortune or the blessing or if you're not seeing it. So it's about seeing your circumstances actually more clearly for what they are, allowing yourself to feel good or bad about what happens, but also being able to step back from it and see it all as a blessing, anyways. That is actually something that those negative things that push you in a certain way might um teach you something like that you don't deserve to feel loss or feel bad, or whatever. And it'll teach you I shouldn't have to prove my worth. And then when it clicks and you really feel that, that's the blessing. And then all of a sudden abundance comes in for you super fast. That's one example of how the Wheel of Fortune is always full of fortune, regardless of what you experience. So that's what I have for you, reading number 2. I hope that resonated. Very different from reading number 1. So, I mean, there's some similarities, but yeah. So, lots of love. And yeah, once again, I hope you benefit from that reading. And I will talk to you all later. Take care. All right, reading number 3. We are going to get into it. I think that's the timestamp. So some cards flipped over while I was shuffling. I don't know if it came up. Yeah, I think it did come up on the camera because I'm like, there's nowhere I could shuffle where you can't see it. But the cards flipped over and literally just presented themselves to me. The only card I saw was the Eight of Cups. And in this deck, it has a very specific meaning. So I'm feeling guided to say right off the bat for you, reading number 3, that your major career decision has to do with you feeling insecure or unsure about things right now. Just like you feel like you're getting started and then you have a lot of people doubt you along the way, or you're just very shy or nervous about like having a tough time feeling just like you don't have to prove your worth to anyone, when you can't help but kind of feel that way when you have so many people that have judged you, or to be more accurate, misjudged you, make you feel bad about existence, even though you're not the one who made yourself exist. Like it doesn't even make sense. Like no one should be born into this world to then get shamed for not doing it right. Like we didn't build this place. We were put here basically. So I'm just getting like reading 3. If that vibes with you, this could very well be your reading. If you feel like your major career decision is coming from a place of you're just like of like that of like you just don't like the way that you're feeling and you're trying to feel better, um or that you're trying to get away from those energies, those negative people or situations in life that make you feel like bad about yourself or about your success, or you're trying to move away from situations that make you feel like you're not even a success, or that you aren't a success yet when you always are. Reading 3, this is kind of that reading for you. So I'm going to go ahead and put the cards down. I've got a whole spread, so I'll just share what it is as we go. So card number 1 is your current energy / your situation in general here. We've got the Page of Cups, message of peace, hope, and optimism. Overall, you're just looking for some optimism. You're just looking for some hope right now. The way you feel is mostly you're just looking for people who just believe in you. And you're just, yeah, looking for that reassurance that everything's going to be okay, that you're okay, that what you're doing is okay, um, even though that might be hard to believe. So that's what I'm getting for you. Your current situation is mostly that you're receiving a message of hope now or of peace to, or someone's expressing, or you want to express your feelings very openly and honestly, um, with love and understanding, where you can not be shamed and you can like just admit openly about what you're worried about, what you're feeling insecure about. Like, honestly, I'm feeling worried about finances, or honestly, I'm feeling like I'm not good enough. Like just like acknowledging what your insecurities are and doing it from a place where you're not hating on yourself, but you're just like being honest with what is some of the energy that is kind of um, that you have to work with within yourself, from experiences that maybe play a really big role in making you feel the way that you do, that bring up that feeling of shame. So you're like seeing it from this kind of elevated place right now, very watery. So reading 3, you could very well be a water sign, or dealing with a water sign individual. Yeah, something like that. Or just feel like you're a very emotional being at this time, that your feelings are just really open at this time. Yeah. So, card number 2 is the obstacle or the decisions that you're having a difficult time making right now. Temperance, it's healing air, assistance, encouragement, patronage. Specifically, the encouragement and assistance is coming through. What you're having a tough time is getting assistance at this time. Yeah, working together with somebody. So some of you, this is becoming a love message. Others of you, it's not necessarily about love, but it's like, for example, it could be like a lover, but it's like you have practical and financial reasons that you had a career or a business together, but because you split up, those things feel disoriented or out of balance. It could be one-sided. Maybe things are balanced for you, but not balanced for the other. Maybe things are going really well for you. Or wait, I already said that one. Maybe things are going really well for the other, but not so well for you. Like you really relied on this person for the teamwork aspect, but the other person actually, their thing was sort of doing its own thing. I think there's going to maybe be a bit of back and forth there. I feel like karma will play a role in that. I'll just share how I relate to this, which is that, like, yep, I split up with somebody and we had some career things that we were doing together, but we were also very independent at the same time. I feel like my stuff is going pretty well from the way I see things, and I feel like their stuff is going pretty well too overall. But I know I played a really positive role in their choices there, that like they're one of those people that like we all kind of can benefit from other people's input, of course, but it seemed that they really benefited from mine. I have kind of paid attention to some of their choices that they're making, and it's like I do feel like with me not around that they're probably going to make certain choices that they'll end up regretting, type of a thing. So karma is at play here. If you can see how what I mean by how like on one side things might be going pretty well for one person, on the other side it might not be as balanced. So there's like balancing issues here with the temperance card. And this doesn't even have to do half. This doesn't necessarily have to be about you and a person, and like all of that. This can be about energy within your own self, and just that things are feeling, trying to find balance between your work life and your love life, and making a decision here that is going to bring you balance. You're trying to find decisions that will bring balance to your situation, and you're not really quite sure what it is that would bring you that at this time. So I'm getting reading number 3. Your major challenge is trying to figure out what is going to bring balance to your career life or to your situation in general. So I hope that resonates. Card number 3 is past influences on why you're approaching the situation the way that you are, or why you're struggling here, basically. Yeah. We've got Mars, card number 4, vitality, aggression, and action. I think this is saying like you want, in the past, you really went for what you were going for, but it turned out your energy just kind of like dominated the situation, and that maybe either burnt you out or it was like you were giving more than the other person was giving. I can't think of any other examples right now, but one way or another, your passion, you put so much energy that it was out of balance that you didn't give the universe or whoever enough time to reciprocate. Or you were in a situation that was one-sided where you were giving and giving and you weren't receiving. You weren't getting anything out of it per se, or you weren't getting the same energy that you were giving. And that left some painful feelings within you that make you unsure about just going for what you want at times now. And that's making it difficult for you to balance your energy and to go for what you want. Because maybe at a time you went for what you want with the energy that you had moving you forwards, uh, and yet the situation, it didn't go how you wished it did. Maybe your energy wasn't appreciated how you thought it would be, um, or that you were so ambitious about your vision that you lost sight of if what you were doing was really what the other person wanted, or what, like maybe your boss wanted you to deliver a certain project and you got this really great idea, but it actually wasn't at all what your boss or your person who hired you or whatever was looking for. Some of you, maybe it was like a commission and you're like, ooh, I want to do this commission this way, and then your client was disappointed with how it went, something like that. And I'm getting like this is a trauma thing, that it's like you deserve to feel good about the work you do in the way that you do it. And that maybe those people or those energies just weren't in alignment with you, um, type of a thing. And then card number 4 is past wisdom that's helping you make decisions at this time. So this is like a past influence that's got some healing work for you, that's making it kind of tough for you to balance right now, or to make this decision in your career life right now. And then here we've got energy that's helping you make your decision right now. Funny enough, it's the exact same card, but it's called the Emperor, card number 4. This is Mars, card number 4. The Emperor can be seen as Aries, especially in this deck. It says Leo here. Leo is ruled by the sun. Aries is ruled by Mars. Very, very similar energies here. So I'm getting like the past influences. It's not really affecting you negatively. It's actually helping you, because you're like, it's just, you just know this. You know that you'd rather be authentic to who you are, show up as yourself, and be misunderstood, than to do something exactly how the other person wants, and lose your authenticity just to give someone what they want. So it's like you're always going to be true to who you are. And this is actually your strength. So partially you're like, should I just do what they want instead? Did I actually mess up that commission? And the other part of you is like, I am who I am. I did what I wanted to do, and if they didn't like it, sorry, no refunds. You're just kind of like you're not letting people who like get disappointed by the outcome, or disappointed in you. Like, let's say someone who hired you and they're like disappointed with the work you did, or someone bought your product or your whatever you make, your craft, and they don't like it when they see it in person. Nope, that's just the game they're playing at. There's just people that are like, they don't really understand the work that you do, and they act like it because they are on the critic side, but they don't make it. Let's say you make, I don't know, knickknacks. I can't think of something, but let's say you make wooden boxes. I don't know. And this person who doesn't even make wooden boxes, or these clients, they just buy them and then leave bad reviews. Um, what do they actually know about your craft? You're the crafts person. You're the one doing your thing. Some of you, what is maybe proving a challenge is feeling like you're a master at your thing. Some of you are worried, is that true? Or am I allowed to be doing this right now if I'm not even technically quote unquote licensed? Or some of you got some of that is weighing on your mind. And I'm just getting overall, trust yourself on this. Trust that you know what you're doing. You don't really need people's approval to do what you're doing because you're being very upfront and honest about where you are, what your skill sets is, and so forth. I feel like reading 3 is like, I feel like I'm in this vibe very strongly. So I hope that resonates with you. Card number 5 is your ideal / hope / goal about your situation overall. So what's your hope out of all this? What is your goal for where things are going? What do you hope to happen? 9 of Wands. You hope for another chance at something. This also says ritual, ceremony, sacrifice. Some of you are wanting more time to be able to rest and for things to just still be okay. So some of you are looking more in like the short term, not so much in the long term for your goal here. You just want to get through this current situation that you're in. So some of you, you're in an okay place, but it feels out of balance, like you could lose the situation or that it could go like out of balance. Like if you're somehow not careful, your goal is to be able to just be careful and to take things day by day, step by step, to keep trying. But with the energy you have. So some of you, it's like you don't feel like you have a ton of energy. You have some energy, but that you're tired and you're just trying to like make do with what you've got, sort of a thing. And your goal is for it to have enough energy. Some of you, your goal is like, I just want to be enough. I want the energy that I have for it to just be enough. Like I don't have more than what I have right now, and I'm hoping it's enough. That's your goal and your hope for all of this. So card number 6 is your most likely outcome here, the future energy for where you're going in regards to your situation / goal. Number 1, Mercury, business, salesmanship, and fabrication. So I'm getting that, yeah, actually you get really good business is where things are going for you. You get a lot of sales for those of you who are selling something, or you're really you're really honing in on your craft and it's really coming together kind of fluidly, like effortlessly. It's all making sense and you found reason to feel good about your path and about your craft and what you're doing. So that's amazing. So that's the most likely future. I'm just going to start with the more negative energies and then the positive energies because readings 1 and 2, I was like, my hope was that these negative cards were actually going to turn out positive, and they did. But I'm like, what am I going to do if they actually like show something like possibly like, ooh, I was like, I want these to leave things on a good note, not on a bad note. My original plan was to do all 10 cards and then do like advice on things and like clarify, but I'm just going to switch it. So we're going to start with the possible negative outcomes that are outside of your control that could just happen. So other possibilities. This is a possibility that you might not feel good about or that you might feel negative about that you do see coming, and this is one that you don't see coming. These are just possibilities, not necessarily what will happen. All of tarot is kind of like that anyways. But yeah, what you do see coming, that's a possibility that you don't feel good about. Transition, responsibility, and adjustment, which is that you're going to get through this, but that the whole transition is going to be rough and rocky and like painful, and that you're going to have to keep putting in whatever efforts that you have, and that you've got to keep doing things or else you're going to drop the ball on this. It's like you feel like you want to break and that you just wish that you could just kind of retire already and just live life. But you also get the feeling that if you were to just do nothing, that the situation's not going to help itself. You feel like you're the one that is responsible for your situation turning out in your favor, that you've got important things to somehow do, even though you might not always know what it is. So I'm getting like Yeah, that's something that you're not looking forward to as a possibility. I'm getting more likely than not that things are going to come together much better than that. So, what is something that you might not feel too good about as a possibility that you don't see coming? We get three of wands, expression, confidence, and communication. Some of you is that like you don't want to get swept away by love and that you feel like it's going to take you off of your path of success and that you're going to miss opportunities by being too focused on your desires and your love life or about just friendship or connecting with people or just like you're worried that you're like just gonna assume that there's nothing to do about your career and that you're just gonna live your life. You're worried that like by being busy communicating with people who need your time and attention that aren't necessarily to do with career, but just to do with like, oh, I'm your friend. Hey, can you come over? Can we talk? Like just like life stuff. Some of you are worried that or like something that could happen that you feel like might throw you off your path in a negative way is that you'll be busy helping people or working, talking with people on like a friendship level, not like in a career sense. And that like, that's going to take up your time. And what you don't see coming about all that is that actually it's because you're meant to just live your life and that opportunities are on the horizon for you that actually you didn't have to go like overextend your energy to get what you wanted, that you could just live your life and wait for your manifestation to come to you. So these negatives, as you can see, they're not really negatives, which is kind of what I was going for with these cards. Probably shouldn't have even really labeled them positive and negative, to be honest, but I really I wanted it to describe your perspective on it, that you might not feel too great about this type of energy, even though it's technically good. So then we can also look at the ones that you do feel good about. So these are external possibilities outside of your control of what could happen that's good, that you enjoy, that you do see coming, which is the Empress card, Virgo, which is that you've got plenty to work. For me, I've got like all these boxes to unpack and then everything's going to come together and I get to set up like my house and it's like, woo, you know? Progress, curiosity, beauty, perfection, and order. That you're going to be really on top of it and organized actually, and that things are just going to really fall into place. So this is something that's really good happening that is similar to Saturn's energy that you do see coming. So something that you do see coming that you might not feel good about is that there's going to be times where it just feels rough or not as effortless as you wished. In other ways, there's also going to be doing things that feel so with the flow and so natural and just feel so good. So I'm just kind of getting like some of you, there's just like some responsibilities that you just don't want to have to do, but that you're going to have to do. And then at the same time, there's plenty in your own space that you're actually really looking forward to doing that you are going to do. So for me, this is like unpacking and like getting this place set up. This is like knowing that I still have to get more things from my old place. Like I don't want to go back there again and like pack more things. Like I just want to stay here. But I know I have to keep transitioning out and like keep getting my things from that place. See? So those are what you do know. And then what you don't know that you're like, which is basically like getting caught up perhaps in drama. Don't worry, you are totally good. I heard you guys keep opening the door. Yeah, I just want you guys to know, like in this space, you guys can come and go, like, Mm-hmm. Yeah, so don't worry. Yeah, and like I can always change my setup, like as we keep. Yeah. So don't worry. Yeah. Also, if you guys want to go to Winco and get more drinks soon, I'd be down. Because there's a Winco nearby.
I'm down to go for sure.
Cool.
Jenna's like kind of sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Do you know where the Brenda filter is? Or like the water?
Oh, I didn't bring one, but I've got that blue jug.
Okay.
It is somewhat heavy, but I have used most of it, so it should be lighter.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to go to Winco with me soonish, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet. Okay, the last card is something positive that you don't see coming, which is Earth, number 3, home, healing, and protection. Which is that you are protected at all times, that no matter where you go, that you've got energy, you got spirit guides, and loved ones in your physical space as well that are like literally gonna make sure this situation is safe and healing and positive. And that's basically it. So, yeah, I hope that resonates with you, reading number 3. I'm wishing you all the best. I hope the person that asked for this reading, that it resonated with them. And yeah, I'll talk to you all later. Take care. Oh, wait, actually, I have to type the timestamps. Whoops. Okay. This or that. Reading 1 was that? Haha, 420. Reading 2. 4. Reading 3. 10137. Okay. All right. Take care, everybody. Wait. Let me make it. No, yeah, we're good. Okay.